My name is Malia Taylor. Um, at one point in time, I got married once before, and my name then was Malia Ward. After divorce number one, um, I decided to go back to my original name, which was Taylor, in 2009. So I took back my name of Taylor. I didn't get remarried again until 2010. Now my last name is Bear. So, just a little bit about myself. Other than that, my husband and I have been together, gosh, it's going on, let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12 years now. So, 12 years of marriage. Some good, some bad, but after my husband and I were together a few years, he started leaving me continuously. Me and our small child that we had just got through having. Her name is Carolina. I also have an older daughter. Her name's Katie. And since no one around me cares to believe in me, I'm putting this out on the internet. So without saying too many things, I just wanted to be the first to let anybody who's wondering out there know that I have been called a liar. I have been told that what I'm saying is completely BS. Stuff backfired on me pretty good after tons and tons of hard work for 10 years. I kept it all to myself only because I knew that the people around me in my life, the way that they would treat me and the way that they would look at me, and I came out with some things that I am most talented, in my opinion, for the last 10 years, capable of helping out people in the world, whether that be nonprofits or whether that be helping with writing of books or movies or TV shows or anything else. I took a really hard look at trying to get back my stuff after people got intertwined with my things. I accomplished that pretty good for a while, and as soon as I almost had it back to myself, and nobody else really had it to begin with anyway, it was just people were intertwined in my things, and mainly that was because of trying to do good for other people. Maybe people had cancer or cancer going on in their families, or maybe per se that, I don't know, let's just say that if for instance that, pardon me for just a second, I like cooking shows. I've always liked, writing out recipes or stuff to eat, or whether it be songs on the radio or just whatever. My husband tells me nobody cares. Nobody cares about what I done. Nobody cares in general what I helped with. And as far as, there being cruel people out there in the world, there's a lot of them. I have tried to block it out of my brain, I guess, that bad people do exist out there. Because bad people do exist. At one point in time, I didn't have to deal with that. I didn't have to deal with people breaking into my stuff or getting into my things, and I didn't have to try to fight so hard to get back on track to the things that I was doing to help out. I look back at it now, and there's lots of people in the world talented, and there's lots of millionaires out there. I, however, am not a millionaire, and my husband, by the way, has left me for the 40th something odd time, and it's been a whole year of stuff going on every day around me, And I have to just suck it up because I know that someone is doing it to me and there's nothing I can do about it. Things that I had going for myself that would have been awesome and a lot of other people went down the drain. And I had a small mini stroke. It's been almost a year and a half, 2 years ago. When I had a mini stroke, I got really weak. My arms hurt. My blood pressure went extremely high. I could tell that something was really wrong. So I went and checked out my blood pressure at a local pharmacy the following day, and I was right. And if it was anything like it was the following morning, I could have possibly died the previous night. So anybody out there that has had to deal with a stroke or a mini stroke, I'm thinking about you. I have supported different things through the years that I'm not going to go into, and I'm not even going to talk about the things that I accomplished through the years, because if anybody out there does care, because my husband says that no one cares, and I'd like to believe that, but I never really tried to tell anyone because I knew how I would be looked at. And just because there's bad people in this world, that has nothing to do with me. I've tried to think about it over and over again. And I know that, I'm a good-hearted person who came across some health problems and lost a lot. People were trying to have my back. People were trying to help me. And I really appreciate that. And, I don't know if anyone else out there really cares about the stuff that I did through the years. It's just songs on the radio. It's just TV shows. It's just cooking shows. It's just, oh, God forbid that, my husband says there's absolutely no way that you would have been able to write a movie out within 1 hour. And by the way, I'm not going to say which movie because I'm not jeopardizing the integrity of these artists or celebrities at all. But I will tell you about what my husband thinks about it. He thinks that I'm full of it. I know it came back down the line that everybody had my back and that it came back as BS. They flipped that stuff on me, and what was supposed to have been where they were doing bad things, it turned out for me to look like BS instead of the other party. There's nothing really I can do about that now, is there? But I know that people believed in me and they had my back, and I really appreciate that. Some of my favorite artists out there, I'm going to name a few. I'm not going to say favorite, but I'll name a few. Just to say that they're people that I liked. Music that I liked. My husband says that country music is awful, and he despises it. And he'd much rather be listening to like Van Halen or something like that. But I support my state team, which is the Panthers. I'm from North Carolina. I'll always support the Panthers. I can support them in my own little way. I don't have to have someone else supporting other teams in other states because I'm diehard Carolina Panthers fan. Sorry. If that means being sorry for that, oh well. Some artists that I really like: Miranda Lambert, Luke Bryan, Cole Swindell, to name a few, Alan Jackson. If I had to pick country artist, I would probably pick all of them because I always enjoyed music. And, they're very talented people. To be able to get up on the stage and be able to perform, that is something that I'd never be able to do. I'm just a CNA, and I help elderly and disabled people inside of their homes to do things that they wouldn't normally be able to do for themselves, because either they have different conditions, or they have something wrong with them where they really can't take care of themselves. Some shows I like: Undercover Boss, Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe, Rachel Ray, I like her, and Ellen DeGeneres, and well, I could just go on and on about people that I like and people that I have kind of followed. Yeah, I guess I'll say that for the last 10 plus years. But I had to realize over time that slowly but surely people were peeling me away piece by piece. I love Disney. I always loved, like movies like Frozen or Moana or The Princess and the Frog or Tangled or you name it, I like it. I've tried to follow, like cooking shows. I'm not going to name any. Auto shows like Roush and things like that. The stuff that I was interested in that my husband could care less about, I've been called liar and everything else for the last year and a half, to the point that it's taken a toll on my family. And it hurt. It hurt to come out and look back on, things that maybe I'm talented in. Movies only last an hour. And if I could do a movie for a particular person, and I could take 1 hour out of my day and come up with a really great movie, that, to me, that says that, you're talented. Especially if you do maybe, I don't know, let's just say a couple of hundred of them and stuff. And, like, I never told my family anything because I knew how that I was being treated at the time. And if I didn't have those things to fall back on, that stuff really helped me. So I appreciate all you celebrities out there. You know who you are. And I'm sorry that bad people do exist in the world. It hurts me every day to think that, there's some really cruel and awful people out there in the world. And people that go back and they take things and they make it seem like it's a different way, or it wasn't that way, it was this way. It's not. I'm a really good-hearted person, and I've always done good for people, or at least tried. I'm without my husband today, like I say, for the 40th time, so I would definitely appreciate the prayers. I still have to hold down a full-time job. I've held down a full-time job, gosh, I guess ever since I've been 14 years old. I even got a worker's permit, so working is something I've always done. I think I've taken off 2 weeks in the last 15 years. I've worked a full-time job, as many as other people have too. Not many people know it, but I got a lot of business places put up, and I got a lot of buildings put up, and I got a lot of people hired out there. I could have probably, wrote that in for myself. Hey, I'd like to be the manager of this company. I just put it up, or something along that lines, but I'm not so lucky. The state lottery is, though. The state lottery's lucky. This is what I've been doing for the last 10 or 15 years. Thinking up ideas and things that's going to help states and help communities and help artists and help people and help the economy. And, I do believe that Trump's going to turn it around. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't much care for politics anymore because, there's a difference in between scripting out movies. It just seems like to me that every time I've tried to go the country music route, as much as I love country, it comes back and bites me really hard. And every time I said I'm going right back to it. And I said I'm going to take it and run with it. I'm going to do it. Sometimes you just have too much on your plate. I never really thought that. Someone says, well, how did you end up having to take care of your family and do your job? And how can you do all that? And that's just bull. You can't do all that, Malia. That's just not something you can do. It's impossible. You can't do it. And just stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to us. Okay, whatever. So, basically, if someone can make you look the worst possible way that they could, they probably would. Or if someone can bring someone down, they're probably going to. I am that one exception to the rule that I wouldn't want to hurt no one. And I would always want to lift everyone up. And that's my downfall. I care about everyone. And I care about, things that other people probably wouldn't care about. But I do. I said I wasn't going to go over 15 minutes, but it's going on 16 minutes of this right now. So I'm going to leave it at this. I don't feel that I'm the only one out there that has had to go through what I have had to go through. You put so much of yourself out there. If you can write a movie within an hour, a movie only lasts an hour. Some of my favorite movies, by the way, is Man of Steel, Avatar, The Green Mile. Like I say, I love Disney cartoons. I like Shark Tale, the Shreks, Finding Nemo. I could go on and on and on. But, those are some of my favorites. Dreamcatcher. Some people say, well, how could you write Christian music and then turn around and do some rap songs? So how can you do that? And that ain't right. You can't do that because, well, how can you do, 100 rap songs and then turn right back around and say that you do Christian music? Because that's not the same genre of music, and, you should feel bad about that. You have to go one direction or the other. Well, I went all directions. I did for different things, country, which was my favorite, and rap, and R&B, and Christian music. And, I have really tried hard to pray for the people out there that have did me wrong and been so mean to me. There's this song by Taylor Swift, and it's basically called Mean. And, people have been mean to me. And it's not been very good. And, as much as I would say I would like for Kenny Chesney or Brad Paisley or one of those people to show up at my door, I don't need proof to anyone to know that, I was talented, and I don't need proof for my husband or my mother-in-laws or my mama or my brother or anyone else. I don't need proof. I have proof right here, and it comes right here in this heart. And, all I can say is, you guys, anyone out there listening, pray for me. Because I'm on my own right now for, like I say, the 40th time of my husband leaving me. Because he left me again. Because, I see people out on the road, and I'm not going to say who. But when I come home and I exclaim to my husband that, this happened to me today. This is happening every single day. This is happening every single day. And I get belittled and told off and frowned upon and told I'm a liar, and that's fine. People out there think that I did something to them. I didn't. I've done nothing but try to do good. I don't know, like I say, there's people out there, lots and lots of people, they only believe in one thing, bringing people down and hurting people. And that's not me. That's definitely not me. I don't know what else to say other than thank you to the people that did believe in me. I hate that it worked out the way that it did. It's bad that you do a bunch of nonprofit stuff and someone hit the button just to get you off your game and hurt you. And I don't know who did, but I know someone did. And it really hurts that 10 years worth of work went down the drain because of that. Do I want back in that? I would love to be back in that. But right now, I've had a whole year and a half of BS. And I'm not the BS. So, wow. Okay, that went pretty bad pretty quick. I can't begin to say, just how much stuff I've been through in the last 15 years that I've had to deal with by myself. It's been horrible. And, some people try to help me and try to figure out, what was going on. Well, we figured out minorly what was going on. But on the flip side to that, nobody else was seeing the things I was seeing. So, everybody says seeing it, you have to see to believe. Okay, all right. Well, lots of people down God, and they don't believe in God, and that's their business. I do believe in God, and, I am of the opinion that you don't have to see to believe, and as long as you believe yourself, and you know yourself, then you'll be fine. I have 2 wonderful daughters. I have a 17-year-old getting ready to graduate high school. She's very talented as well. Yep, she's my knockout. And, she wanted to become an actor like Channing Tatum. And she wanted to become, go off to college. I'm going to try to get her there. I don't have a lot of money. And I don't have, the means to try to do that with, but there's scholarships out there. There's grants. And I'm going to get her into a college that can accept her, and maybe she can go down that path. She's very talented. I've seen some of her writings, her drawings, and things that she's done through the years. And she, as well as me, has done a lot for the world that people just don't see. It's okay. We don't have to be seen to do good for the world. So, with that being said, that's all I got to say, and I hope that someone out there, sees this. If I had to pick one person that I would wish to possibly see this, God dang, and I said God dang, and that's not taking the Lord's name in vain, but gosh darn, let's say that, gosh darn. I'd want our president to see it and know that I believe in him, and I believe in jobs, and I believe helping the community, and I think he's going to do a great job. And anybody that says different, then you should support your president, and you should support what he stands for. And I do, and I always have supported every president that's ever been in office. So, with that being said, I hope that maybe someone out there can, look at this video and say, hey, that's me. I done all these things good for people, and they never seen it. I didn't feel like they needed to have to see it. And the reason that I am making this video is the stuff that's been going on with me for the last year, every single day for the last 7 months. Wow. It's been pretty bad. And I just wanted to get it out there. Don't give up believing in hope. Don't give up in believing that, you can do good for the world. And I hope in time that I can get through the mini stroke that I had. I've been doing pretty good. My blood pressure goes up at times. But those are types of things that you'll never, ever, get over for a while. One of my number 1 country music artists that I really, really have liked and enjoyed and loved my whole life is Dierks Bentley. I never got a chance to meet Dierks. My husband ruined that down at the PNC Pavilion. He just all of a sudden wanted to leave, and then later says, I hate I ruined that for you, honey. Okay. Love you, Dierks. Hope that life is treating you good, because it sure hadn't been treating me too good. And, I never imagined that writing hundreds of country songs out for different artists, or writing hundreds of movies out for people, or writing hundreds of books out for people, would come back and bite me. And it did. And it bit me pretty hard, because I came out with my family and told them. It's kind of like coming out of the closet. you finally eventually, come out of that closet and you tell them who and what you are and what you've been doing after the fact. And you get told basically what a big fat liar you are, and tortured every time you have something going on every day in your life for 7 whole months. And you need that support, and you don't have it. I've got me, I've got my daughters, and I've got a job. And if I don't have a job, I'm going to go find another one. I've worked a full-time job since the age of 14. I will support my family. I will go on. So this is almost like a note to myself. I've tried. I did the best I could. And, I don't know what in the world, with my family. But I have been treated pretty bad. And I hope that one of them can come forth to me if they ever do decide to see this and realize that, I have been telling them the truth. And, I've not gotten that. And then my husband says, who cares? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about those movies. Those movies suck anyway. And those country music songs. I hate country. And he's not talented. He sucks. Well, I felt different about him. I felt different about Jon Pardi. I felt different about Dierks Bentley, Miranda Lambert. I felt different about all of them. And I thought, why not, help country music out a little bit. I don't know. I hope you guys have a blessed week. I am a little bit scatterbrained because, like I say, my husband just left me. So, I pray for anyone out there that has to go through that. This is me out on the East Coast. And, if anybody wants to comment or wants to, anything of support, it would sure, brighten my day, because I've had a lot to deal with for the last 1.5 to 2 years now. And thank you guys so much for believing in me, the people that did. And I'm sorry that I had to let a lot of people down. A mini stroke is not good. I also went blind, by the way. I got a hold of a medicine that made me go completely blind at the same time that Morgan did in The Walking Dead. I hate that things didn't go the way that it should have went. Like I say, it got turned around and I wasn't even in my own things. So if that tells you anything. Love you guys. Have a good one. This is Malia Lynn Taylor. That was my maiden name. And then, of course, I went to Ward. That was my first marriage. Then I went back to Taylor. And now my last name is Bear. And before long, it may be back Taylor. So Taylor may eventually be single.